and then took off again where it was under pretty much the same model, namely a state-controlled, directed economy, which is what they have. We call it capitalism. It has very little to do with capitalism. Well, that's a particular kind of development model. It didn't just come by free choice. I mean, in Korea, say, it came after 10 years of war. The Korean War started in 1945, remember. In 1945, when the United States intervened in South Korea, and the Soviet Union came into North Korea, what happened was that a civil war began. And in South Korea, about 100,000 people were killed before what we call the Korean War broke out, with plenty of border conflict across the borders. The Russians pulled out, incidentally. That's the basis for the Korean War. Then came the fighting, the destruction of Korea, the control over it by the conquerors. Well, that wasn't what you may say it's good or bad or whatever. It certainly wasn't free. In Taiwan, the development was carried out under, in fact, a conquering army, the Kuomintang army. And similarly, in Indonesia, let's say, the development, again, wasn't just free. I mean, in Indonesia, there was a military coup in 1965, strongly supported by the United States. 700,000 people approximately were slaughtered within 4 months, mostly landless peasants. That destroyed the only mass-based political party in the country. And then came with U.S. enthusiastic support, I should say, then came a certain kind of development model, one which opened the country up to exploitation by Canada, by Japan, by the United States, and a certain kind of development, if you like. All of these are forms of development, but they didn't come by free choice. They came by forceful imposition, just as the development in Hungary didn't come by free choice. It came by forceful imposition of a different kind, undoubtedly. The kind of, the forms of U.S. intervention are different from the forms of intervention of other countries for all sorts of reasons, but it's rammed down people's throats. It's not their choice. When moves began to take place in a way inconsistent with our officially stated goals, namely when the threat of ultranationalism began to develop, independent regimes responsive to the demands of the population for improvement in their living standards and diversification of production, we have repeatedly intervened by force to block it. We did so in Guatemala since 1954, over and over again. We did it in the Dominican Republic. We've done it in the Southern Cone. We've done it throughout, extensively in Central America and in the current period. We're doing it now in the Philippines. I mean, there's case after case after case. Now, let me separate again two issues. What's the right kind of development model, the proper topic for an academic seminar? What's the right kind of policy? The right kind of policy is one that allows people to be as free as they can to determine the course of their own affairs without foreign intervention, without violence.